Hi, I'm Stephen,
And I'm Brandi.
and we're doing our presentation on Gabriel Garcia Marquez.
I will be talking about Love in the Time of Cholera.
And I'll be talking about 100 Years of Solitude. Gabriel Garcia Marquez is one of the most important authors of the 20th century, and arguably the most important Latin American author of all time.
Garcia Marquez was born in North Colombia on March 6, 1927. He grew up listening to his grandmother's stories, which exemplified many mythical aspects, while his grandfather told more real and vivid stories accounting the war.
The way these stories were told, both superstitiously and rationally, would greatly affect the way Garcia Marquez would write in the future.
Garcia Marquez later attended the National University of Colombia, where he studied law while also pursuing his dream of journalism, writing for the University of Cartagena.
While at university, he would meet his soon-to-be wife, Mercedes, who he would soon have two children with, Rodrigo and Gonzalez Garcia.
His central themes included violence, solitude, and the human need for love.
His writings also encapsulated the idea of magical realism and post-colonialism.
Magical realism is a literary genre in which magical elements are a part of a realistic environment. It originated in Latin America but continues around the world. Some characteristics of magical realism are characters who live beyond the normal length of life, elements of fantasy in a real-world setting, magical events that cannot be explained by science, and time and space may be challenged. As a reader, a person will normally never fully understand the setting in a magical realism work. In some forms, magical realism can be understood as a post-colonial move that's purpose is to resist naturalism.
Post-colonialism is a literary aspect that focuses on an area or region after it has been decolonized. In a piece of literature that exemplifies post-colonialism, conflicts and positive aspects about being decolonized are depicted. Post-colonialism could be such a great influence on Latin American culture because up until the 20th century, most of Latin America was still colonized by countries like Spain and Portugal. Characteristics of post-colonialism focus on the time directly after the decolonization of an area. Things like interacting with nearby communities and cultures and building a stable living environment and government for the newly founded area are strong post-colonial ideas.
Love in the Time of Cholera was written in Spanish and translated to English by Edith Grossman. It is the story of love and aging throughout the lives of Fermina Daza, Florentino Ariza, and Dr. Juvenal Urbino. The story was inspired by Marquez's parents' relationship, which, like Fermina and Florentino's, was not originally accepted by the girl's father. Throughout the book, the setting changes between time, as if he's having a flashback with no break or indication. This may be an element of magical realism because it challenges time. Magical realism is also present in Love in the Time of Cholera with the parrot. It can speak French, Spanish, memorize some of the masses, and it can hold a conversation. There is also post-colonialism depicted in Love in the Time of Cholera when Fermina goes to visit her hometown and it has been destroyed by the banana plantation. Love in the Time of Cholera is a prime example of Marquez's central theme of the human need for love. This is shown in Florentino Ariza's many love affairs as he waits for his one true love, Fermina. Age also plays a large part in the theme as the characters progress throughout their lives.
100 Years of Solitude was written by Garcia Marquez and translated by Gregory Rabassa. Every literary aspect Garcia Marquez is known for is depicted in arguably one of the best books he ever wrote. But most importantly, and obviously, solitude. The author was experiencing a writer's block while on his way to a family vacation when he suddenly turned the car around with little explanation. When he arrived home, he locked himself in his study for 1 year, and he wrote 100 Years of Solitude. 100 Years of Solitude is the story of 7 generations that founded a city in Latin America. Some examples of magical realism in 100 Years of Solitude are the patriarch of this family having a dream of the city that they are going to found. Many people in the city living beyond the normal life expectancy until they cease to believe that the city can thrive. And also, one last example is insomnia becoming almost contagious, infecting everyone in the Buendia household. Now, some examples of post-colonialism. The majority of the book takes place in a post-colonial period, where the citizens of the city and the patriarch of the Buendia family trying to build a stable society. Gypsies coming to trade with the city, bearing new inventions with each visit. And also a conflict results due to post-colonialism when the magistrate of a nearby settlement comes wanting to tax the city.
Since Love in the Time of Cholera, or El amor en los tiempos del cólera was translated from Spanish to English. It is important to understand cultural references.
We found that the names of the characters translated into important elements of the story.
For example, Florentino means blossoming, and flowers in Love in the Time of Cholera were a continual symbol of recognizing love.
Translations are also apparent in 100 Years of Solitude or Cien Años de Soledad. The family name Buen Dias literally translates to good days.
Also, the name Juvenal in Love in the Time of Cholera means youth, which represents the theme of aging throughout the book and aging's effects on love throughout the novel. Both of these I would not have known without looking them up due to my lack of knowledge on the Spanish culture. So that's all we've got for you guys. Thanks for watching.
Post any questions you have in the discussion forum and we'll do our best to help you out.